I'm Anushree.
And I'm Navina.
And today we are going to be reviewing an older movie released in 2009, an English movie called Gifted Hands. This movie is actually based off of a true story and it's directed by Thomas Carter. The movie is based off of a neurosurgeon, pediatric neurosurgeon. His name is Benjamin Carson, yeah.
How many did you get right? So what happened? You weren't meant to be a failure, Bennett. Boys watch too much television. You're gonna go to the library and pick out 2 books.
The heartwarming true story of a mother's love and determination that inspired an ordinary boy
You weren't meant to be a failure, Bennett.
to reach extraordinary heights.
You did very well, Dr. Carson. She came through just fine.
Thank you.
Academy Award winner Cuba Gooding Jr. and Kimberly Elise. Gifted Hands, the Ben Carson story.
So we get to know his entire life story and an amazing feat that he performs in the movie. So you can begin.
Okay, so it starts off with the movie where he's given this impossible task to basically separate 2 conjoined twins who are conjoined at the head. So basically they're 2 twins, but their heads are stuck together. And he's trying to get both of them apart, but while keeping both of them alive. So then we have a flashback of his childhood, and we see that he was born in a time in America where...
It was right after segregation?
Yeah.
So
No, segregation wasn't really like over. There was still the effects of it there.
it was right after.
Yeah, the effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, he was a black man or a black child in a predominantly white school, and so he also had like his mother did not, or his father was not in the picture, and so it was a very stereotypical type of life for him, and so he was not very smart, and so we actually see something how though his mother is illiterate, she wants them to strive the best, not because of their skin color.
They don't know she's illiterate, but she keeps on pushing him forward.
She wants them to like strive to be their best, even though she is illiterate. And so she's like, don't let your beginnings and your the way you were grown up, don't let that affect how you can succeed in life. So we get to know how these kids immediately they became incredibly smart people just with the idea that they can and that they are ambitious. And it's all centered on our main character, who is Benjamin Carson, and he is basically just a student growing up in America.
Yeah.
So I think basically he aspires a lot. He goes through a lot of problems, a lot of temper issues, and we learn that he eventually his temper gets better, but he goes on to do great things. Like he goes to Yale University and then off to work at Johns Hopkins Hospital. And so what he's going into is pediatric neurosurgery. And so I, for one, loved this movie because that's what I want to go into, neuro-oncology. And so I want to go into a surgery kind of field. And they really captured the perfect type of, I think, just the conditions of a surgery room, like the coordination with doctors and the coordination not just individually but also as a group. And so that's what I was seeing, and how many hours you can take in a surgery room, and how you affect the people around you, how you can instill hope in them but also be their answer to a problem, if that makes sense. So that's what I was getting about doctors basically on this movie. That was passionate.
I know there's some really good dialogue in this movie. The mother especially had a lot of really good dialogue and the inspirational stuff that she said. It was just really good dialogue.
Yeah, the movie is about 2 hours long. Is it 2 hours?
I think so.
It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. It's a decent time, and I think just a lot happened in the movie. And honestly, I was engaged.
And when it was
throughout.
over, we didn't want it to be over because it was just so
It was
good.
one of those, yeah. So, I really enjoyed it. I think the main premise is really how he was able to separate these conjoined twins. And again, this movie was shot in 2009, but it's about a story that's much older, like 1960s-esque. So,
yeah, and it brings to light a lot of the stuff that we wouldn't expect you can do in a surgery room. Like, I didn't know you could cool and warm blood, but you can do that. And temporarily stop the heart for an hour in an infant. There was a lot of stuff. I thought you could only stop the heart for only some time, but you can do it for an hour.
It was really a motivational movie. It was very much about, you know, I think just aiming high and achieving your
Yeah, no
dreams.
matter what comes at you, just keep on going.
So I kind of really loved it. So
And the music was really good because the entire time, he loves classical music. Okay, so obviously the score is really good and it has all this beautiful resolution and stuff and all these classical ideas that they bring back, and it's good.
and cinematography wise, the shots, it is a movie about surgery and hospitals. So a preface is there is going to be gore and there is going to be blood in the movie. I actually, oddly, when I was younger, I used to watch surgeries. I still do. But I don't know, for me, watching surgeries is fascinating, just to know all the organs that are in the human body. So for me, I actually love watching it, and they made it look so real. I think they might have filmed an actual operation on an actual patient. I'm not entirely sure, but there are surgery scenes and everything. So yeah, and at first I'll be honest, when we went to the flashback, that took up a good half of the movie,
yeah.
and I was afraid that we weren't going to go back to the original problem, but we did. So it was a very interesting type of, arrangement. You know, you had a present problem, and then you had a flashback, and then you had the solution to the problem.
Yeah, and
So
there's
I
a lot
thought-
of themes in this movie too, like overcoming racism and overcoming obstacles. Like there were like small parts throughout the movie where he had to face racism, and all those people that gave it to him, he proved them wrong after one point. Every single person.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this movie's a 10. I think it was amazing, and I think everyone who watches it will not get bored. Like, it is a really, really good movie, really well done, has amazing aspects.
So keep in mind this is a true story, and Ben Carson is here today, and he's retired, and you can see a lot of his interviews on YouTube because YouTube is cool.
It was nice. It's a really wonderful way to learn about basically a revolutionary person in the medical field, someone you didn't know before. So you should definitely watch it and educate yourselves, as well as just understand and enjoy the beauty that is medical science. We loved this movie, and we hope you guys enjoy it as well.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.